my name is Kara. Thank you for watching my very first YouTube video. I thought that a good first video would be how to make homemade pesto sauce. Now, the way I'm going to show you is how my mom showed me how to do it, and it honestly is my very favorite pesto sauce recipe I've ever had. So I hope you guys enjoy. So to make pesto pasta sauce, you will need fresh basil. I actually cut this basil out of my garden. If you don't have a garden with basil, you can easily get it at any grocery store. You will also need Parmesan Romano cheese. You will need walnuts, chopped walnuts. You will need pine nuts. You will need Roma tomatoes. I usually use about 3 or 4. You will need extra virgin olive oil, salt, garlic, and then you will also need a food processor. So what I'm going to do now is I have rinsed the basil leaves in a colander, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick each individual basil leaf off, and I'm going to put it into the food processor. You don't want to get the stems in the sauce, it won't be as good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I just pick the leaves off and just put it in there. A lot of times with the basil, it'll start flowering like this. That's okay to put it in. If it's too long, I don't put it in, but if it's just a little short piece, I'll go ahead and still put that in. And you just throw the stems away. I actually forgot to bring the trash can over before I started filming this. So, yeah, and it just takes some time to do. This is probably the longest process in making pesto sauce. It's just this part. But it is so worth it. It is so good.
Like, oh, so good.
And that was my husband that you probably just heard. He is in the other room playing a video game, like he likes to do a lot. I keep telling him I'm going to get him on one of these videos. He doesn't think so, but it'll happen. Oops, I got a little piece of the stem in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up, and I will get right back with you. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Roma tomatoes, and we are going to cut them up. We're going to be putting them in the food processor, so you really don't need to cut them up too small. Maybe just like little squares, like maybe that big. And you just put them right in the food processor. And sometimes maybe I'll start out with like 2 tomatoes just to see how it may end up. Maybe it has enough of that tomato flavor that I like. The other reason why we put tomatoes in the pesto pasta is because it actually reduces the amount of olive oil that you put in. So therefore it actually makes it much healthier than if you were to just douse a ton of olive oil in there. Now we are still going to put some olive oil because you can't leave it out, it's just too good. So I put 2 in there. I'm going to go ahead and put a 3rd one in there. So again, I'm just going to cut it up. 3 might be a little much for this because I don't put as much basil in here as I normally would, but it's still going to taste really good. So then my next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take walnuts. Now the reason you're probably thinking, why is she going to put walnuts in there instead of pine nuts? Well, when it's mixed up in the sauce, it really doesn't taste much different, and walnuts are a lot cheaper than pine nuts. So might as well just put some walnuts in there, and then when it comes time to put them on the top, or when the pasta is done, we'll just put some pine nuts on the top. So you still have the pine nuts, but you don't have to use as much. I went to the grocery store today to go get supplies to make this today, and pine nuts bulk were like $16 a pound, so walnuts were much cheaper. So just put in a couple handfuls. Honestly, with this recipe, I really don't measure anything. I just kind of throw it in. So now that I've put in the walnuts, now I'm going to put in a little bit of olive oil. Again, I don't measure, so I'm just going to do a couple circles of olive oil in there. And then we cannot forget the salt. Put some salt in there. I like to use sea salt, preferably because it's actually healthier for you, I have read, than regular iodized salt. And then of course we're going to put some garlic. The best thing is fresh garlic, but today I decided just to go with the just regular ground garlic. So we're going to put that in there. Garlic is a key ingredient because it really helps the flavor. I like garlic a lot, so I put a lot of garlic in there. Okay, so now we're just going to take our lid. We're going to put it on. Okay, make sure that it's plugged in, which it is. And we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Just let it really grind up in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And then I'm going to take my pot liquor, and then I'm just going to scrape off the sides. Excuse me, I'm just at the very end of a cold, so I still have some coughs that I have to do. Okay, so now that I've scraped off the sides, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on. Pretty good. So now we're going to go ahead and taste it to see if there's anything that we may need to add. Maybe we need to add some more salt or some more garlic or add another tomato. You never know. So we're just going to go ahead and do that now. I need to get a spoon. Okay, so now that I have my spoon, I'm just going to go ahead and take a quick little taste. So good, but it still needs some more salt and more garlic. It's really bad. I like salty food too, which I know I need to reduce the amount of salt that I eat. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mix it up again. Okay, I think that's probably mixed enough. We're going to go ahead and taste it again. Of course, I have to drop some things. I'm going to go ahead and taste this again, see how it tastes. so good. The garlicky and the tomato and the basil and everything and the walnuts just all mixed together is just such a good flavor. And it's gonna get even better. So just stay tuned and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so now I have finished the part of my pasta to put the sauce on. Today I decided to go with frozen cheese raviolis. Sometimes I just put it on regular pasta. And possibly for one of my next videos, I'm going to show you guys how to make homemade fresh pasta. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. So now I'm just going to take the blade out of the bowl, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour the sauce on top of the cooked raviolis. Okay, we're just going to set that to the side. I forgot to grab a spoon. So I'm just going to take the spoon. I'm just going to mix it up. In there. And my husband's really hungry, by the way, so he's antsy to get at this. I had to kick him away for a little bit. So now we're going to take the Parmesan Romano cheese. And we're just going to put it on top. Then we're going to take our pine nuts. And put those on top of that. This is going to be what your finished product looks like. And trust me, it's very delicious. Okay, so now we've put everything together. And that was the finish. That was how you make homemade pesto sauce. So I hope that you guys go ahead and try this at home. I hope you guys tune in for more of my videos. If you guys go ahead and try to make this at home, go ahead and post pictures or leave comments below. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and post those below as well. So please tune in for my next videos, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel. We're going to have a lot of interesting videos. And have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.